All right, I want to talk some more about this kind of like it's not the medicinal thing, but it's somewhat related because it's potentially anyway. It's like the Levite breastplate. Uh, I was looking it up, like which stone was each thing, because there's like 12 stones with 12 names written on them. You know what I'm saying? And then there's like I think there's two other stones or something like that that are hidden in another pocket in another area. But it's basically like this freaking. It looks like that movie, kind of like Clint Eastwood in Fistful of Dollars. Man, he's got this metal thing hanging from his chest, and in a way, it's like it's basically a metal thing with these little brackets in it, and they stick these different stones in there, precious stones. And there was some debate about which stones, uh, even though there's the name, but they're not sure exactly what it was like. And what's strange enough, like look, my buddy, he blessed me with some freaking Hawaiian obsidian. And another dude gave me like some Alaskan freaking obsidian. The Hawaiian obsidian has white, clear glass with black glass. The stuff from Alaska's got like a oily, milky brown chocolate milk mixed with black look to it. Both very sleek and beautiful, shiny substances. And then one of the stones was an obsidian. And come to find out, I got me a couple freaking obsidians uh, as gifts. Just blessed me. I was talking to this one guy about napping stones and glass, and then as a gift, man, he gave me a big chunk of flint. And white flint was another possible candidate for one of the stones that they used in the Levitical breastplate. You know what I'm saying? And then I've been on this sap journey where I started making the resin, the tree resin, in the trying to replicate the Indian method. At least that's where I learned it from. But come to find out, it's right in the Bible. It's right in Genesis that Noah used pitch within and without the ark to make it waterproof. So, like I said, once again, it's I catch a lot of crap from people. They're like, "Man, you are just so old fashioned and so like, look, basically hillbilly. Like even I'm worse than an N word hillbilly. Like I'm just like something like different, but not really. It's sometimes you just feel like you're the only one in your area, or like one of the few in your area. But watching other people on the tube lets me know that look, yeah, no, there's other people out there that got some. They got some bushcraft knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And this is a similar thing because this is where you're gonna find obsidian and flint, like obsidian by volcanoes. And you have to have a knowledge of minerals. And then another one, like I was saying about the sap, because I was collecting it for the resin, pitch resin. I came across other saps with different qualities, more gummy type, more pretty clear saps, which are very beautiful. And it's like it also says like amber that cometh out of furnace. So I've been trying to melt it and put it in casts, but I can't figure out. I ain't had that much time. I'm just an amateur with all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't. Uh, and it's all been trial and error and experimentation, and almost like, look, I can't take no credit for it. It was almost like it was presented to me, and you know what I'm saying? It's like in a way, it's like I have the opportunity. I can chase this or I can chase that. Either way, it's whatever I'm dedicating my time to. It's like it's always blessed. You know what I'm saying? And it grows. I mean, I ain't saying it's just gonna be like instant, uh, like lightning. But it's like hey, sometimes it's just like it's like one ember. You know what I'm saying? That if it lands in the right spot and you blow on it ever so slightly, you know what I'm saying? It may catch into a flame. From that flame, you can blow on it through a bamboo, piece of bamboo, and you know what I'm saying. And you got a blowtorch, basically. it's like that out here. But let me think. One of the possible, another jewel that was in the breastplate would have been, uh, is possibly an amber, or like sap, because I'm not sure if you could take amber and you could like melt it at a really low temp and it won't blacken the resin, and then it maybe if it's in the right state, when it cools it's hard, because I got this some of these resins that I found are like really stiff and hard and almost solid, but uh not always, you know what I'm saying. It's like it's weird. Look, like I said, I'm still an amateur at this and just creeping around looking at stuff. But it's just funny, know that when I started reading this Google thing, I just Googled it and whatever came up on the thing, I just started looking at stuff in there. And what's funny too, the guy who gave me the freaking flint and the obsidian was talking about how he likes agates. And agate was another stone that's in the breastplate. You know what I'm saying? So it's when you look at it, you would think it. It's just like, look, it's more common and simple than you would when some of these things are than it would appear at first. You know what I'm saying? And each, I mean, is this even really superly significant? It's like, that's up to you to. But for me, it's just funny that as I'm reading this thing, it's like a lot of the things that it was describing in there I already had in my freaking possession, and I'm active. It's called rock hounding. Okay, this is another thing that like I also freaking found a bunch of morels, dude. Look, it's I can't take much credit for it because uh, it's like because it's just I'm not really doing it, man. It's like set up for me. You know what I'm saying, to stumble across in a way, and I mean, uh, and it's like it's and it's just stuff. And look, I've been documenting this process of going through learning these natural things, expressing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, it's not. I'm not. Uh, what is it called? Johnny come lately. I just are jumping on bandwagon here. But I know I've been doing this for a little while, man, consistently, and it's bearing fruit. And the fruit is the fact that I can sit here and have this freaking conversation. And empirically, you know what I'm saying, I've already familiarized myself with some of these substances, unaware the significance when back looking upon it. Same thing with the plant knowledge. Like I wasn't aware. Uh, I wasn't aware of the significance of some things. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like the wise men, frankincense and myrrh. So I mean, these are it's precious stuff. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with some of this stuff. I mean, it's just uh, it's they're just worldly things, and they're all things to cast at Christ's feet, because the world is the Lord's and everything in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't matter. It's like God's only like He's just giving me a little taste of where the good stuff's at. Because I mean, it's like it's like it's like sometimes it's like people believe in God, but they don't believe in His power, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's really simple stuff. Like, look, uh, but you see His power in it. That God created this. God created creation, and the firstborn of every living creature was Christ. That's the image. So it's like all this creation bears witness of its creator. It describes some of his attributes. If you if you if you explore this thing and just really look at it, how intricate it is and how it all works together. You know what I'm saying? And same thing with the kind of the thing behind even the breastplate, that it's like there's all these tribes have to come into one accord. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the thing behind it. So, and this is a time where it's supposed to be gathering. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't seem like that's working, but I guess even through people striving, they're entangling themselves together, whether they realize it or not sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to get out of the spirit of Willie Lynch and attacking other people. It's kind of like this part in the Bible where these guys were amateurs, they didn't have no reputation, and they were trying to uh, pray out spirits, and the disciples was like, look, who are them dudes? Look, it's almost like, who are them cribs? You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. And Christ was like, nah, look, if they're not against us, you know what I'm saying, then don't give them a hard time, basically. Something to that effect. And it's the same thing out here, man. It's like, well, they're trying to the best of what they know. And it's like, look, can't be so critical. And just because someone's like not aware yet, that I have to judge them and just consider them like just stuck there. Because I realized, like, look, just like watching the plants and stuff, from season to season, it takes time. Then you'll see changes. Same thing, like, look, when large water comes and washes away a bank of dirt somewhere, and then there's hidden minerals under there where they got these freaking same Levitical breastplate things, or the freaking the jewels in it, and it's just more stuff. Just giving just telling you some stuff that I've had. It's like I said, I haven't been doing it. It's like been prepared, and I'm just kind of like observing it, how it plays out. But how did I come up with all these things? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't. Uh, it some of it was because I was out there looking. You know what I'm saying? And once I was aware, I was looking now. And then once I can identify the thing, it's like I see it everywhere. But at first, it was like so hard to find. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. Even it's like it seems farther away than it really is. It's like it's all right there, but it's like until you're aware and you ain't looking for it, it's like you walk right by it all the time without realizing what you're even walking by. And there's even references to the lively stones in spiritual kingdom, built up of a spiritual house, built up of lively living stones. You know what I'm saying? So there's even a reference to that. Like, I think one of the dudes was interpreted his name Cephas, a stone. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes people are referred to as animals and as plants and as rocks. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, and that's all. This exchange is all. Uh, it all flows. It all synchronizes, and even with. Why are they calling people spiritual stones when there's this breastplate thing that were stones on there? So it's like, in a way, he's saying the people are the jewels. Their faith. You know what I'm saying? Their faith. What God has shown them, their testimony, by their testimony. You know what I'm saying? By their witness and their testimony is what the criteria is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying this stuff is like, I don't know. It's not super necessary, but to some extent, it's worthy of looking over and just trying to dig a deeper meaning, or maybe seek for a hidden meaning that's just not obvious. But once again, knowing that these simple things, you'll overlook them because it says that the Bible confineth the wise, but yet reveals itself to the simple. And that's because if you're coming in with this freaking critical, totally scientific, totally carnal mindset, it's like it's a failsafe. So it's like you got to come into it like with simpleness and meekness of a child. You know what I'm saying? Who hasn't developed biases yet, and you know what I'm saying, and preconceived ideas, and and see it from fresh as it truly is. You know, and that's hard because there's a lot of like hard scripture in there that's not easily understood. You know what I'm saying? So it's a process.